Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. The return of Paul Heyman has sent shockwaves through the landscape of the Stamford-based promotion. The Bloodline saga continues to take exciting turns as he reappeared alongside CM Punk to aid Roman Reigns at War Games. The Best in the World is now officially the fifth member of the OG Bloodline for the upcoming War Games match against Solo Sikoa's faction at Survivor Series 2024. However, Heyman's return has sparked significant speculation, with many suggesting that the special counsel might betray the tribal chief to align himself with CM Punk. Paul Heyman is cited as the wise man on CM Punk's new merchandise following the latest episode of SmackDown, where CM Punk made his arrival alongside Paul Heyman. WWE released new merchandise that has sparked off major speculation. Surprisingly, the Hall of Famer is referred to as the wise man on Punk's merchandise, but not on Roman Reigns. The original Tribal Chief's merchandise features him wearing the undisputed WWE title with Paul Heyman standing behind him. Additionally, the days of his undisputed title reign are prominently displayed. However, Heyman being designated as the wise man on Punk's merchandise hints that WWE might be subtly planting seeds for the special counsel to betray Reigns in favor of the OG Heyman guy, CM Punk. Heyman didn't hug Roman Reigns post-SmackDown after SmackDown went off the air. A clip surfaced showing Paul Heyman hugging Jey and Jimmy USO, appearing happy to be back in the Bloodline saga. However, the most notable observation was that the wise man did not approach or embrace Roman Reigns personally. While off-air moments don't necessarily impact television storylines, the Bloodline saga is known for its attention to detail. Heyman hugging the Usos, but not the OTC, has sparked speculation that all may not be well between Heyman and Reigns, adding another layer of intrigue. The wise man left with CM Punk on SmackDown, not Roman Reigns. In the same off-air moment when the wise man hugged the Usos, Punk jumped out of the ring. After this, Heyman immediately followed him backstage without waiting for Roman Reigns. Moments later, the original Tribal Chief and the rest of the OG Bloodline made their way backstage, with Reigns appearing visibly surprised. This reaction could maybe stem from Punk being revealed as their final War Games member, or perhaps from Heyman's noticeably altered behavior toward him. These subtle hints of Paul Heyman potentially betraying Roman Reigns for CM Punk add even more intrigue to the ever-evolving Bloodline saga. Fans will have to wait and see how this compelling story unfolds in the coming weeks. The crowd roared inside the packed arena during SmackDown's main event. Roman Reigns stood tall in the ring, the WWE Universal Championship resting on his shoulder. The Tribal Chief had dominated WWE for over 3 years, with Paul Heyman by his side, acting as the mastermind behind his unparalleled reign. However, whispers of dissent had begun swirling backstage and on screen, subtle hints that perhaps Heyman's loyalty was not as unwavering as it seemed. Adding fuel to the fire was the recent return of CM Punk to WWE, a move that sent shockwaves through the wrestling world. Punk's fiery promos and disdain for authority made him a natural adversary to Roman Reigns, whose aura of invincibility felt impenetrable. But what truly intrigued fans was the unmistakable glimmer in Paul Heyman's eyes whenever Punk was mentioned. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, but to the WWE universe, it screamed one thing: betrayal. A night of tension on this particular SmackDown, Roman Reigns opened the show flanked by Solo Sikoa and Jimmy USO. The absence of Jey USO was still a sore point, and Roman reminded the audience that no one leaves the Bloodline without consequences. As Roman addressed his next challenger, LA Knight, Paul Heyman stood behind him, clutching the championship belt. But his usual bravado seemed muted, replaced by a contemplative expression that didn't go unnoticed. Throughout the night, backstage segments showed Heyman pacing nervously, clutching his phone and avoiding eye contact with Roman. In one scene, Kayla Braxton attempted to interview him, asking point-blank about his recent interactions with CM Punk. Heyman's response was cryptic. "Kayla, I am a wise man. My job is to ensure the Tribal Chief's continued dominance. But in this business, one must always have contingency plans." The comments sent fans into a frenzy online. Was this a direct hint at Heyman's potential betrayal, the CM Punk factor? Later in the show, CM Punk made a surprise appearance. The crowd erupted as his iconic theme song, Cult of Personality, blared through the arena. Punk sauntered to the ring, mic in hand, his trademark smirk plastered across his face. "You know," Punk began, "it's funny how history repeats itself. Last time I was here, I made a career out of taking down so-called dynasties. And now, I see a new one. The Bloodline. Roman Reigns, you've built an empire, but empires fall. The question is, who's gonna be your Brutus?" The camera cut to Paul Heyman watching the promo from backstage. His face was a mixture of panic and intrigue, as though Punk's words hit closer to home than anyone expected. Punk continued, "I know you're watching, Paul. Don't act like you haven't been blowing up my phone. I know you better than anyone. You're a snake, and snakes always find the biggest tree to climb. But let me warn you, I'm not interested in being anyone's backup plan. If I come for Roman, I come for blood." The segment left fans buzzing. Was Punk revealing a private conversation, or was it mind games? Either way, Heyman's reaction only added fuel to the speculation. Cracks in the bloodline. As the main event approached, Roman Reigns confronted Heyman backstage. "Why does Punk keep talking about you?" Roman's voice was low but menacing. "If there's something I need to know, Paul, now's the time to tell me." Heyman stammered, "My tribal chief, I swear to you, my loyalty lies with the bloodline. CM Punk is trying to manipulate you, to manipulate us. He's playing games, just like he always does." Roman narrowed his eyes, studying Heyman. "You better not be lying to me, Paul. If I find out you've been talking to him behind my back." The tension was palpable. Even Solo Sikoa, typically stoic, looked uneasy. The betrayal teased the main event saw Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa facing LA Knight and CM Punk in a tag team match. The crowd was electric, fully invested in the clash of personalities and styles. Paul Heyman stood at ringside, visibly torn. As the match reached its climax, chaos erupted. Roman accidentally collided with Heyman, sending the wise man tumbling off the apron. The distraction allowed Punk to hit the GTS on Reigns, securing the win for his team. But it was what happened after the match that left the WWE Universe speechless. As Roman recovered in the ring, Punk grabbed a microphone. "Roman, you should really pay more attention to the company you keep. Paul, want to tell him what we talked about last week?" Heyman froze, his face a mixture of guilt and fear. Roman glared at him, demanding an explanation, but before Heyman could speak, Punk dropped another bombshell. "Don't worry, I'll let him tell you in his own time. Or maybe. I'll see you next week." With that, Punk exited the ring, leaving Roman fuming and Heyman scrambling to regain his composure. Fan theories run wild. The episode ended on a cliffhanger, with fans speculating wildly about Heyman's next move. Social media lit up with theories. Theory 1, Heyman was working with Punk all along, orchestrating a slow burn to overthrow Roman. Theory 2, Punk was bluffing to sow discord within the bloodline. Theory 3, Heyman's loyalty would ultimately remain with Roman, but the seeds of distrust had been irrevocably planted. Some even pointed out parallels to Heyman's past betrayals, notably his infamous turn on Brock Lesnar during his feud with Big Show. Could history repeat itself? The fallout in the weeks that followed, WWE continued to tease the possibility of Heyman betraying Roman. Subtle interactions between Heyman and Punk backstage were caught on camera, though Heyman always claimed they were misunderstandings. Meanwhile, Roman's paranoia grew, leading to friction within the bloodline. At one point, Roman forced Heyman to take a lie detector test live on SmackDown, a segment that blended drama and comedy. Heyman passed, but the damage was done. Roman's trust in him was shaken. The big payoff, the storyline reached its boiling point at a premium live event. Roman defended his Universal Championship against CM Punk in a high-stakes match. Heyman's presence at ringside was the elephant in the room, with fans unsure whose side he would ultimately choose. In the match's climax, the referee was knocked out, and Punk locked Roman in the Anaconda Vice. Heyman slid a steel chair into the ring, but to whom? Both men reached for it, and the crowd held its breath. In a shocking twist, Heyman yanked the chair back, preventing Roman from using it. Punk capitalized, hitting a second GTS and pinning Roman to win the title. Heyman raised Punk's hand, his betrayal of Roman now complete. The era of the Tribal Chief was over, and the Paul Heyman-CM Punk alliance was reborn. Conclusion: WWE had once again masterfully woven a tale of loyalty and betrayal, using Paul Heyman as the linchpin. The story not only reinvigorated CM Punk's career, but also set the stage for Roman Reigns to rebuild his empire from the ground up. For fans, it was a reminder of why WWE storytelling remains unmatched, blurring the lines between fiction and reality, leaving everyone guessing until the very end.